tribe has spoken.
I know that you were really upset about me falling asleep that day for some reason.
Hello. Welcome back to yours truly. I don't know why I do that. I think almost every time now, that weird accent. It's fine.
What accent is it?
I don't even know.
I don't either.
Really? I don't know. It's not Gru.
Oh, kind of. Maybe it reminds me.
I said that the other day, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, you sound just like Gru." And I was, "Oh, was that your house on Monday?"
Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, "What?" But anyway, we're talking.
We're
all
back to talk about
Survivor.
what's the
My mom texted me. Yeah, my mom texted me this week, and she started watching.
I've been telling so many people, I'm like, just watch it, please, please, please.
She weirdly
Just
isn't
watch
watching this season. But hey, she's watching what she can, I guess.
What is she watching?
I have no idea. I think I asked what season it was, and I think she said like 9. I was like, interesting choice.
Interesting.
Okay.
It is interesting. Yeah, first, like, if people are like, oh, I've never watched it, I'm like, just, there's a current one ongoing right now. But if people are like, then I'll be like, you have to go back and watch older seasons.
I think it's easy to get into the current one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the older ones are pure gold in my mind.
Yeah,
so.
they really are.
We're recapping though season 47, episodes 2 and 3. And if there is an overall summary of these 2 episodes, it's how much I dislike Rome.
Oh
on
my
the red
gosh.
tribe.
No, like the past 2 honestly, this whole season so far is proving to me that I don't think I'd be like,
No, yeah.
I would get so annoyed with people. I'm getting so annoyed with people, and I'm sitting on the couch, not rubbing shoulders with them. But there's, I think, somebody almost on every tribe that I'm like, I cannot stand you.
Yes. I have found that that's like a continual theme amongst all 3 tribes, which I think is somewhat rare.
And also, I will kind of touch on it, but I think it was super rare that the first 3 episodes, a different tribe lost.
I agree.
Because usually you get to really, one tribe dwindles down and down and down, and it's so sad. But like, then they're the underdog. But every tribe has lost
one.
So every tribe has lost somebody, and you've kind of gotten to, it's very even, I feel like.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if it's because there's distrust and disunity amongst all 3, and it almost like seems to be the downfall of every tribe during the challenge.
Yeah.
Is like,
I don't think any tribe is like really performing super well. They're all just kind of like,
they seem pretty evenly matched.
Yeah.
Physical wise.
Yeah.
The mental wise, I don't know. In my mind, they're all losing a grip on reality, I feel like, to me. Or at least I would be.
And it's early.
It's early
It's early to be getting this annoyed with people. Like, we're a week in.
And even for them, I think it's, do we think it's 7 days in?
Yeah, well, when the most recent person got voted out, she said 7 days. Yeah.
You said we're a week in. Stupid. Yeah, I think for the yellow tribe, it was Andy. And I think episode 2, I think, was almost such a great episode.
Yeah.
Showing every single tribe.
Yeah.
How much
they're doing good at that. Like, because like I said, a lot of times the focus is around one tribe because they're like losing a lot. But this since they're so even, I feel like there's a lot of camp footage from each tribe getting to know like the cracks already.
I think my favorite part was the yellow tribe when it like opened on them cheering Andy on for opening a coconut, and I was like, at what point are you Andy realizing this is so fake?
It's
like,
so
they're
patronizing.
Doing
like it's so
patronizing, so condescending. I couldn't believe it, and he like ate it up. I think the way the editors worked on that episode was outstanding to see them cheering for him cutting a coconut to his like talking head. He's like, they love me. Like,
he's
we're
like,
all
I know
friends.
my role here.
I know my role.
I'm loving this. This is so great.
And then like 5 minutes later, it's just, I don't even know the other guy's name, and Andy, and the other guy's like, we have to watch him like at all times. Like, we cannot leave him alone. And he's like, hey, Andy, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
I'm really just going to pee.
Like, I swear I'll be back. And then he, like, leaves. And then it cuts to, like, Andy being like,
face.
they all hate me. They're like, he's like,
his
I don't
face
know.
goes,
he's
like, blank. And you can just see, like, the wheels turning. He's like, I don't, what do I do?
What do I do? Like they're all probably
talking
off together.
They're talking about me. And then he's like, I have to go look for the idol. It's literally under 5 minutes of him being alone, and he takes off into the forest, and
cinematic in the way
so
to watch
funny.
it do such a 180 and like this man give in to his like darker self almost.
Yeah.
Like his darker inner thoughts in a span of like that. I think it's crazy.
Takes off into the forest looking for the idol, and guess what?
He
finds it. That's even more comical to me because I'm like, of all the things they didn't want him to do, was be alone so he could run into the forest and find the idol. In the span of the guy going to the bathroom, he goes out and finds the freaking idol.
I also think it's funny because the other girls were off looking for the idol.
Yeah.
And this man just gets up and he's like, I found it.
Or I guess not the idol, but the secret advantage.
Yeah,
but that is in hopes of finding the idol, and then it gets even better.
He leaves it there.
He finds it, and then again has that facial. He has like a very blank facial expression when he's like thinking. He's like just blank, and then he's like, "I'm gonna leave it." Puts it back.
He's like, "I'll come back and get this."
Yeah,
and then I think the other guy realizes he's gone.
Yeah, he comes back and he's like, oh my God, we literally have to babysit this kid.
Yeah. And then they go looking for the idol and he finds
it.
Advantage.
Yeah.
And then Andy tries to go back later and finds it and realizes it's gone. So I just think it's amazing, the Yellow Tribe watching them.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining just because I think Andy knows nothing but yet knows the most out of everyone on their tribe.
Survivor is weird like that. It's like somebody could either be playing the best game ever or they are an idiot. And it's like, it's so crazy that you could be both.
Yeah.
And sometimes the person doesn't even know. Like if they're...
I don't think he does at all.
Like you really, you yourself don't know. Is this smart or is this dumb?
I think it's funny the way that it works too, because Andy may think he's playing an amazing I think Andy thinks he's playing a great game.
Yeah.
But then simultaneously,
I think everybody does. Everyone is like,
I would agree.
I know everything. Like I'm, and the mind games that plays that would play on you. Insane.
But he thinks he's doing so well.
Yeah.
To the point where like his entire tribe is like he's the bottom and he's playing an awful social game. But then also everyone individually in their own head is also thinking like he's going to stick around because they don't want to get rid of him. So he's playing a great game.
Yeah.
But it's unbeknownst to almost everyone, and he doesn't know how he's playing. I don't know.
It does happen, I feel like, often where the bottom can flip to the top so fast because typically the people on the bottom, again, people will say like they're desperate. They're like, they will pledge allegiance to like...
They'll do anything that
They'll
sticks.
literally do anything. And so I think people on the top are like, they're kind of like, if I could get this person in my back pocket, and Andy's kind of like a puppy dog. Like he'll...
do whatever you want at this point.
And so I think that starts to happen, and like the people that are closer to the top start to kind of get a little bit greedy, and they're like, I want this guy in my back pocket. So then it just creates the whole mess.
Yeah, I can see him kind of dopily going along.
Oh yeah,
and getting pretty far.
And no one thinks he can win.
Yeah,
like so they're all like, well, we could just keep him around, and then no one. But sometimes
it works. I think the other guy on yellow is gonna get too power hungry, and might lose it and get voted out. But I also think the same about, I don't know her,
Annika.
Yes, I think she's gonna blow it.
They're already
and I think she's gonna screw herself over and get voted out.
I think she's gonna do it first. I think the guy's gonna do a better job. What is this? We gotta figure out his name.
Let me look while you talk.
He's gonna do a better job because he's like pretty likable. He's done a good job at like being likable, kind of being, just kind of like that charismatic, guy. Which it does tend to go into the power hungry, but Annika, man, she's barking orders and I feel like when people kind of realize that maybe they're at the top, it's like such a quick turn when the other people below them start to like get annoyed. But so Annika and him in episode 3 really started butting heads because the guy is just getting so irritated at her.
Yeah.
Again, barking orders.
And see, that's where I'd lose it. He did a great job not saying anything.
That's why
I would have lost my mind.
That's why I think he's going to do better.
Sam. His name's Sam.
Sam. He's going to do a little bit better at it, I think, because he's like, I got to keep my mouth shut for now. But I think eventually he'll make some big move and he'll be like, top of the chain.
I could see it post-emerge. He gets voted out when he doesn't expect it. Annika reminds me a little bit of Venus from last season.
Yeah.
Similar vibe where I feel like not a lot of people are going to like
bossy.
her. Yeah, the bossy, it gets you voted out, I feel like, pretty fast.
And that's the thing. I'm realizing this season, probably more than, maybe I'm paying more attention to like how I don't know, but I think I would really make emotional decisions. I would be so annoyed with her bossiness, or I would be so annoyed with Rome in all cases that I'd be like, they need to be out. And I wouldn't be able to see strategy beyond that.
I wouldn't. Moving then to kind of the blue tribe before we talk about the red tribe, because the blue tribe was a more focal point at episode 2. Because they did in fact lose the challenge. So they were going to tribal. I feel like we still don't know as much about the blue, or they're just kind of all not giving main character-esque energy.
The other two definitely.
Yeah, red and yellow are definitely having their more fair share of the drama, but I am glad TK got voted out on the second episode because he was annoying. I didn't like him already from the get-go.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm not a big fan.
It was an emotional...
It was an emotional decision. Because he was their strongest.
Especially from that one, the girl that he pissed off.
Yeah.
She completely did what I would have done and be like, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. He offended me. And like, I think in this day and age of Survivor, because before it was like you had to keep the tribe so strong because like you're going days or a week in between challenges too. So you need to like, whoever's helping build the shelter the most or catching food, I think it was more pivotal for them to keep them around. And now it's just kind of like, you're our strongest one, but we hate you. So
I wonder if some ways Survivor, it's like such an interesting concept, but I wonder if some ways, because I think in the beginning of the show, they voted a lot based on like emotional decisions too. And I'm wondering if then they got so far away from it that they did the other side and where it was all strategy and like people were able to get past it, where now they're like they're almost going back in a sense.
Yeah.
Where people are like, you know what? We're not here long enough. Screw this. Like, I'm over you. Like, I want you out. Like, I don't care if we keep losing challenges.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather just not spend the next 2 days
I just feel like
with
in
you.
like the older seasons, it was like we have to win. We have to have a good camp life. And so that was like the focus of the votes probably until like the merge.
Yeah.
But then it's been like kind of all over the place.
I think they did a lot more alliances, and I don't think we'll ever see that because you just we've seen it so many times where someone's always on the bottom.
Yeah, now it's more
and
like
it doesn't make any sense to ride that.
Yeah, now I feel like it's more all these like voting blocks, like you vote together. But like things change so fast.
Yeah.
Because the game's moving fast.
But I'm glad they voted out TK. I did think he was annoying.
Yeah.
I do think it was a little potentially dumb.
Yeah.
But, you know, the game does change so fast, and we already saw in the third episode. Like, it kind of shifted already for the blue tribe.
They're going to mix tribes probably in the next episode or two. So focusing on, like, your strength as a tribe is kind of a non-issue. Yeah.
And especially now because so many other challenges are, like, not physical strength per se, but a lot of puzzles, they did a swimming one in this last episode, and like, who knew if TK would have been able to carry the weight on that one.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, because I've seen that happen too in previous seasons where they like keep all the strong guys and then they do terrible at puzzles and like agility stuff. And I'm like, well.
You guys screwed yourself.
Yeah.
The red tribe, though, is crazy. In the first and second episode, I don't think we saw Soul speak.
I know, that's exactly, his face came on in the first, second episode, and I said, who is that?
Is this?
Who is that?
And so I'm glad finally in episode 3 we actually heard him.
Yeah,
finally.
Yeah.
But then Rome is just.
Oh my gosh.
Him.
Oh my gosh.
I could never.
I can get along with most people, or I just like don't really open my mouth and I just internalize it. I think I would tell that guy off.
I think I would too. There's no way I would be able to. There's no shot.
Oh my gosh.
With how vocal I am. I think honestly, and I think it would come out in almost a meaner way than if me just being like, you're talking too much, I need you to stop. I think it would be like really starting to tear down everything he said. Yeah. Because he was like talking about how he could have been a rapper. And I think I would have gone after him in that and been like, you could not be less talented. Like, I think it would have come out in an even worse way of just being like, you're really annoying, stop. I think how much he talked and how much he would like boast about himself, I would lose it.
If there's any kind of person that I don't get along with, well, it's like it's a know-it-all-ish, and it's him. It's him.
Yeah.
The way that he like inserts himself into every conversation and like is a know-it-all about it, or anything you're doing, like anybody else that tried to fish, he was like, oh, it's like really hard to do that. And I'm like, let them try.
I loved when he was like, I made a fire every day in the morning before coming on here, and then he couldn't get the fire going. So then that ER doctor was like, I'll try it, and then got it on like the first
But then
try.
he's like complaining. He's like, I guess I'll make the fire too since I'm fit. I'm just like, you're not the only one doing things.
Yeah.
But he's just loud about everything that he does so that everyone knows. Oh my gosh, I would be so mad.
I think at that point, too, just the lack of awareness that he has for himself. If you are going fishing and getting food, and then they're also like, no, you get the pot, you start the fire. At what point do you start to reflect and be like, why am I being, like, I don't know, in my mind, I think I would say something like, hey, are you guys okay with me? Like, I just feel like in my mind, if they're making me do everything, I would start to think there's something going on. Like, they don't like me.
For sure. I think you're exactly right. Like, there's no self-awareness there because the way that he's doing it is like, it's passive-aggressive almost on both ends because, like, they're kind of not because they're, like, annoyed. But he is, like, instead of being like, if it's really annoying him, he needs to be like, hey, I'm going to go fish. Like, would somebody mind doing the fire? Instead, he's like, oh, I'll do the fire.
Yeah, because as soon as someone says that, I'm like, yeah, you will. Absolutely. I'm not going to offer to do it. If he's going to wall it,
like, oh, I guess I'll do everything. Like, saying that out loud, then that, like, rubs people the wrong way. Instead of being like, if it's annoying. Because, it would annoy me if I felt like I was doing everything. But you also have to vocalize and say, hey, would someone mind doing this while I do this?
Better, my guy.
Yeah.
Come on. And so when they lost the challenge, I think he did have the idol. But I think in my mind, I still 1,000% would have voted for him. Because the way he played it, I thought he was way too cocky that he wouldn't have played the idol.
No, he's cocky at everything he does. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
But I guess that idol was only good for that tribal. So I guess you wouldn't really risk it. But if I was Soul and he was telling me all that, the guy's an awful actor. When he's like, yeah, we're voting this person out. It is not at all you. And Soul's like, do you think you're just like telling me that to like make me feel better? And he's like, what? Why would I ever do that?
He reminded me of like Bella in Twilight when she's like, what? I'm like, oh my. I do love, I think
dude.
it does appease me a little bit thinking about him watching this back and being like, him in his talking head, like, I'm such a good actor.
Yeah.
He's living, and then Saul's like, he's an idiot.
Yeah, he's so bad at it.
He's literally an idiot.
Even like when he came back and he's like, I lost my vote. I'm like, dude, stop. Like he's playing, and he mentioned it at the challenge. He mentioned it as soon as he got, like,
Too
I was
much.
like, you're overplaying your hand.
And then in all of his talking heads, he's like, I'm playing. Oh, and even his body language in the talking heads, he's all like lounged.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just like playing this game so well. I'm
So
acting like
annoying
I'm
to
just
me.
like, oh my God.
But see, that's like where it's crazy because he thinks he's playing it so well in the way that he thinks he's playing it. But then everyone's like, he's doing such a bad game. But then you have the ER doctor and then the other girl, I don't remember her name.
It's Genevieve and Teeny.
They're like, we're going to keep Rome
Yeah.
because he's such an idiot.
Yeah.
So in a way, he's actually playing a decent game, but not at all in the way that he thinks he's playing a decent game. They're like using him.
Yeah.
And so he'll stick around. But it's just like
And
so funny to me that that's
He'll
the way
stick
that
around
works.
thinking it's his doing, but
And
it's really not. It's this the guy last season. He was really annoying as well. Very
Q.
No, yes, Q. But
Hated Q.
he, I don't remember his name, but he was like, thought he did this big move, and like it wasn't even him that did it anyway.
Oh, it was Tevin.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was like, I played the best move. I told the best lies, and then it wasn't him
It wasn't him at all.
So I think that's going to happen to Rome. Like, I think he's going to be thinking he's doing all these moves, and it's really other people moving.
I could see that.
And honestly, that is like peak Survivor when like somebody like that gets blindsided.
I love it.
It's
I eat
amazing.
it up.
Yeah. So I cannot wait for him to be blindsided.
I'm still feeling really good about Rachel being my pick.
Yes.
But I also really, really like that ER doctor.
I like that ER. Yeah. I like the
Let
ER.
me start saying his name. Kashan.
Yeah.
I really like Kashan.
I like Hashan. I think
he's a sweet guy.
I do think I still like Teeny. I think she is kind of doing well with like she's on kind of Rome's, because if you get on Rome's bad side, it's not bad because he's just one of those people who is gonna like continue to find and get advantages. It's so annoying. Like Q last season, like it's just like annoying when the annoying people.
Yeah.
But like if you have them on your side, it could work to your advantage. But she also kind of is playing with Kashan and Genevieve too.
Yeah. I did think it was interesting that they ended up voting Aisha out. But it is hard if you're such a stubborn player where you're like, I won't vote this way unless you vote the way I want.
An interesting
You
approach
kinda
for her.
Shoot yourself in the foot because
Yeah.
then it just shows that you're not.
Because if
you can't work with that person.
If two people are coming to you with like-mindedness, and you're not open, like right there, it's 2 against 1.
Yeah.
So I just feel like in my mind, I'd be like, even if I don't agree with them, I'm gonna like present like I do.
Yeah.
Instead, she was like really like hard on that.
She's like, I want Genevieve out.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
Yeah, she wanted
Genevieve out.
They
were
like,
gonna
vote Saul.
Yeah, they were still gonna vote Saul.
And she was like, no. So even if she, I just feel like she kind of mishandled that.
I feel like if I were her and I said that and they had told me they wanted to vote Saul and I pushed hard for Genevieve and they didn't necessarily say much or give me a good enough reason why I wanted to vote Saul, I would start to think that they were voting me.
Yeah. Because I think that same kind of conversation happened with Rome and Teeny. And Teeny did a good job. He was like, I want to vote Saul out. And she was like, well, or no, he wanted to vote Asia out. And she was like, well, she was like, I hear you. And like that could work. But like, what about, you kind of plant the seed.
Yeah.
What about Saul? Because like, I feel like he could find the idol faster and like did it in a much better way than like, no, I want to vote this person out.
And I think, if they hear you being so stubborn and they're not super talkative or like receptive to trying to figure it out, I immediately, I think would be like, I think my name might get thrown out there.
Yeah.
And she was blindsided.
I was just about to say, she did not take that well.
She did not take that well.
No, I was like, whoa.
It was awkward.
It was.
I'm trying to think who did vote. Because did Saul vote for her? Because he said he didn't.
He said he.
But I don't know if he lied. I can't remember now.
I know. I used to like. Now with like all, they used to show who voted for each person.
But now they do the preview for next week.
Yeah.
And then it goes small. I can't.
I know
see
it goes.
anymore.
That's the thing. It
I'm
goes
like,
small or
it
like
says.
it's on auto. Like it'll just go to the next show, and I'm like, wait, no, I wanted to see. I wanted to see who voted for each person.
But I think it's a good season. I love.
Yeah.
I think casting the weirdos always makes for a great time.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm happy about it, and I'm excited to see where it keeps going. So amazing.
Yeah. Cool. Well,
we'll talk to you guys next time about episode 4. All right.
Bye.